Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Grandma's Teeth, Nagging Horses. How are you guys doing today? How's life? In between the episodes, I have been relatively busy. We have an oil drill. I did not prospect, I just randomly placed it down in a chunk and hoped for the best. I have finally fixed our oil refinery, meaning that we get access to different fluids. We are processing fermented biomass, which as a result we get a teeny tiny bit of acetic acid, a ton of water, ethanol, methanol, ammonia, CO2, and methane, which after making that I realized I didn't really need that. But I had tons of apples and saplings, so why the hell not? We can have fermented biomass. You might also notice that the chests are disappearing, at least most of them. I have been ore processing. If I hold the wrench, you might notice the conduits, and yeah, we have a huge filtering system, and we're automatically processing ores. I have been making a ton of epoxide for making circuits, a ton of silicon rubber for making cables, tons of ores, tons of resources, tons of ingots. Our problem with lack of oxygen continues, and in order to progress further, we need tons of oxygen. So limonite. I'm basically using things that I have in abundance. Yes, very good, very good. So why do we need oxygen? Good question. And ignore the scaffolding. Polyethylene. Obviously. Look at all that polyethylene. This is great. A few hundred episodes ago, somebody mentioned that I don't need carbon. He was wrong. He needs a lot. Why are you asking? Well, if he wants to make a ton of the higher tier circuits, which he does need a ton, he's gonna need raw carbon fiber. And that's 4 carbon each. But as long as you have polyethylene, it's going to be relatively fast. And carbon is free. We just shouldn't void it. Literally all the carbon and polyethylene that we just made shall be used in order to make fiber reinforced epoxy resin sheet. You know, for making the more advanced circuit. We are also cooking a ton of energetic alloy. Takes 5 seconds. And yes, I'm processing rare earth. It's actually quite fun. You mix it with sulfuric acid and you will get crushed rare earth, Mark 1. Then it's just like normal ore processing, but at the end, you're going to get something called Rare Earth Mark 1. You put it inside a dehydrator, and for some reason this is called basic dehydrator, even though it's high voltage. And look at the tons of goodies that you get. But I think the most important byproduct that we get from this process is yttrium. There are a few other versions as well, but yeah, I was lazy to make it. How do you make industrial strength hydrosulfuric acid from industrial strength hydrosulfuric acid? Okay. So the other acids that we were making were not industrial, they were for playing games. Well, the stupid circuit board is eating through my aluminium, but I guess the end result is just gonna be great. We have 2 stacks, so it's good. Also 1000 buckets of molten polyethylene. I never had that in my life. While the circuit boards are being prepared, there are a few more things that we need to do. We have a huge shortage of titanium, and obviously stainless steel. For some very weird reason, even though the recipe is over here, you cannot put bauxite inside an electrolyzer in order to get rutile. I didn't want the rutile, I wanted the oxygen. But this recipe doesn't work. What does work is red mud, which I just tried it and it has a garbage rate. Very garbage. Why would you even do that? So if I'm not wrong, bauxite is essentially useless? Yeah, a bit useless. That is perfectly fine. We have 3000 rutile, that is 3000 titanium. So we are getting titanium very slowly, it takes 5 seconds for each bucket, and we are getting stainless steel at a crazy rate, 3 seconds. It's awesome. That should take care of some of the metals that we were missing. Now let us get back to building. Look at all those levels. What did I do? I was bored, so I went to kill the Chaos Guardian. It was fun. No, of course not. What I did is that I had to do a few enchantments and I was lazy to go back and forth to get some experience, so I took it all. What was I enchanting? Diamond spikes, because we have a new mob farm. With no mobs inside. Oh no, they do spawn. Dead creepers. I wasn't sure if it's going to work or not, but it did work because I only wanted 1 drop. TNT. Free TNT. Well, it's not free because we're spending a teeny tiny bit of benzene, but that's fine. And that brings us to our next project. Our garbage room over here, which we used to make compressed cobblestone. Now that we are using distillation towers in order to process benzene, we're getting a very important byproduct at a very insane rate. And when I say insane, it's insane. I have 31 large cells and 4000 buckets. And I think if we reach the tank up there, we should be able to see it more. Yeah. So the mob farm is going to passively generate us with TNT, but we are also going to make it actively. That's a word, right? I think. And we are actually not going to bother ourselves with complicated recipes. What I'm going to do is that we're going to get gel toluene, using the fluid solidifier, we just mix it with sulfuric acid and we get TNT. And honestly speaking, since I'm getting toluene as a byproduct and I'm getting it very fast, I don't care if it's efficient. So I should change this stupid door. We're rich. So what we need to do is that we have a few basic assembling machines which are making us compressed cobblestone. I know for a fact that they don't cut it. We need to have more of them. We used to have a setup for making wood planks. Now that we are going to use TNT, we don't need them anymore. So you can come with me. Thank you. Ever since I updated the quest book, I'm just getting random quests. Also, just in case you're laughing at my centrifuge setup, I just wanted to show you something. 4,600 buckets of methane. Almost for free. We don't need to have refined glue or rubber anymore, so we take it. And I just need to get a few more machines. We have to do a bit of remodeling. We don't have the assembler from Ender.io, so we just have to use a normal cable. We're going to have 3 more assemblers. And for some reason you started working. What are you making? Okay, I'm using the old machines, so they have all kinds of garbage. Anyways, chemical reactor, 2 fluid solidifiers, another chemical reactor, and 2 more fluid solidifiers. That's it basically. Yeah, you don't have to take it in. You don't need gunpowder. Yeah, I have to change my filters. Later. And if you're wondering why the hell am I carrying so many garbage on me, I have been recycling my old machines. Aha, so yes, it's fully operational and we're getting TNT. We already have 2 stacks and 21. The drawer has a higher priority until 64 stacks, then everything else will go inside the implosion compressor. And I think with the amount of toluene and sulfuric acid that I have, I should get somewhere around 8,000 TNT. Also, I'm really worried they're going to blow up the room, but no, so far so good. No, they seem to be fine. They enjoy death. When we started today's episode, we were extremely poor. We had almost no inventory of stainless steel, now we have 1,593. We had 250 aluminium ingots, and now we have 4,000 and your favorite number. We also had no inventory of titanium, and so far, oh my goodness, I'll fix it, don't you worry. It's just that the stupid cooler is also full. And yes, we do have Baron Mark II, pick it up. Pick up as much as you can. Yes, as I was saying, we have a ton of titanium, and we're cooling it down, as well as tungsten steel. Ouch. Oh, we're out of titanium again? Okay. Yeah, I think for the moment we're good. Relatively. I also spent a bit of time on things that I really wanted to have. Like him. You don't make the noise. Is it beef? No. Okay. Wrong version apparently. So what is the plan? Next episode I want to start making some reactors. This is going to be my second attempt of making an IC2 reactor, and the first one didn't go so well. So we need to have a very small expansion to our base, and this is going to be the location for it. The reactor itself is going to be for the next episode, but for today we have a radiation related project. Radon. So previously the way that we used to get radon was to get radium-226. Hold it in our inventory for 1 hour, get decayed radium-226, and then electrolyze it. You know, these stupid things that we also got as a quest reward. However, there seems to be a loop. If we have a teeny tiny bit of air, a tiny pile of uranium-238, and 8 plutonium-239 ingots, we will get 100 millibuckets of radon. And yes, there is another recipe, but I don't have that much plutonium. I just have like 9, 10. So this is the recipe that we have to go with. It will be on a loop and it will infinitely produce us with radon. Once we get enough plutonium, well yeah, we will do this one which is more efficient. So in preparation, we have a large chemical reactor, a furnace, air intake hatch, some go-to-hell pipe casing, and chemically inert machine casing. That's basically the project, and we're going to do that here. Although this is a restricted area, so we have to be very cautious. Hence, airlock controller, some airlock frames, and we want you to open, not like that, when I'm 2 meters away. Lord of... No, that doesn't work like that. Yes, you open, you close. You open, maybe more than 2 meters. 5 meters? 5 meters is too much. I don't know. It's not that bad. I do have a feeling that on this side we can have some cheaty covers, like that. Yeah, that's not bad. Do you like it, Baron? Good. Okay, this is going to be a relatively easy setup. I think what we should be able to do is that we can have the input hatch over here. This one is for air. We can have the air intake hatch over here, and you can just pump it in, right? We don't really need the air intake hatch for what we want to do, but later on we want to upgrade it, you know, to this one, and well, I don't really want to get 8 buckets of air. But I have a feeling 1 HP energy hatch is going to be more than enough. If the Baron moves, we can have the output hatch over here, flip it down, and I guess output bus and input bus on top. And you know, we just cover the rest. I made so many chemical reactors we're out of blocks. But we are not out of go to hell, and that is good. Yep, that should be enough. Very good, we have the chemical reactor, and I believe we should be able to have the furnace, I don't know, here? We need to smelt the plutonium again. Yes, something like this should work. Although we also need to give it uranium, so maybe we need a second input bus. So that I can just fill it in and, you know, call it a day. Yep, this should work. Face downwards. Okay, let us see if it works. We have 11 plutonium, we saved 3 of that, and we have 250 uranium-235. And I look stupid, I know. So uranium-235 goes in, we smelt the plutonium. Oh, it takes time. Not that much. Some maintenance, and you should work. You have plutonium, you have uranium, you should have air, so why you no work? It says ULV. It's not uranium-235? A 238. Ooh, my bad. You're fine. So it's not the radioactive one. It's the one which we have like in the thousands. Yeah, 2000. It's just that I don't really know how we got uranium. I'm assuming uranite. Oh, it does work. Nice. Well, it's not that bad. It takes 37 seconds. I thought it's going to take way longer. And just in case you're wondering, I also need the radon for circuits. Which reminds me, we also need indium. Well, we should have a teeny tiny bit. Yes, 100 millibuckets. That's enough for 2 wafers. Okay, it's just that it's in a tank and we can't see it. And this looks nice. We had a huge Buildcraft tank for creosote oil, I can use that. Not the entire stupid thing, just a small one. So yeah, this is our radon room, and yeah, the tank looks nicer. The problem is that it's never ever going to get full. That's 576 buckets, I have no idea when it's going to get full. But I have brought some lights. We don't really have any bat problems, I just wanted lights. You know, so that one day without night vision, if we walk here, we don't get lost. I also thought maybe we can have a chest over here, because the input hatch is behind the block and I can't access it. But this way it should be fine. And if you're wondering why I have buckets, I picked up the plutonium. But thankfully we have a stupid cow who is stuck over there, so I got some milk. Also, we should really figure out how the hell did I get plutonium. Uranium-238 gives you a tiny pile of plutonium. Oh, 2% chance. Oh, go to hell. Oh, Phobos stone dust. Ah, well, I'm not going to Phobos again until we make the new rocket. Okay, let us move on. It seems our ore processing has finished. Yeah? Did someone die? Oh, you're still processing, fine. So if you guys remember, in order to make circuits, we're going to need something called indium. We don't really need it in huge quantities, but we do need a decent amount. Indium comes from indium concentrate, and that is a combination of sulfuric acid, sphalerite, and galena. And guess what? I have been keeping a ton. Oh, and by the way, this is limestone, which I actually crafted it using the assembler. You know, there is a recipe with stone, calcite, it gives you limestone from biomes of plenty, which looks horrendous. But you can chisel it to this limestone, which is from chisel. The thing is, if you break it, there is a chance of getting an ore. You see? I'm actually getting an ore. It's called fluorite. Previously I used to mine a lot in the desert, so I used to get it from sandstone. It is a 1 in 640 chance. But I read the tooltip and it was like limestone is 1 in 32 chance. It's a semi-weird ore, but essentially if you put it inside the dehydrator, which has to be HB, which we already have with some sulfuric acid, you're going to get hydrofluoric acid. And that's relatively important. The problem is that you need 37 of it. And also doesn't really give you that many byproducts. But apparently there is a biome called Everglade, which there is a portal to it. If we go there, maybe yeah. But it's also a very crazy recipe and I think it was LUV. We haven't even unlocked it yet. Anywho, let us get back to business. Indium. I really should come up with a system for tanks. This is getting out of hand. Yeah, you see, I have to check everyone. I didn't realize that, I have to come here. So sulfuric acid goes in. We have tons of garbage. And all the ores go in. Do we get anything? The tanks are empty, that is a good sign. Because sometimes I mess it up. Yes, indium concentrate. I think we're going to need way more ores. I don't really want to craft it for a very long time. Oh, finally! We found a use for aluminium. It's just that it's not much. Oh, I made a mess. Yes, we don't want a tiny pile. Give me the big one. So it's circuit number 9. Exactly. This one. I'm running out of ores and I'm running out of sulfuric acid. but I think we're going to get somewhere around one stack and a half. I'm not exactly sure, but it also takes 20 seconds just to get one dust, so once it's finished I will show you. And honestly speaking, I think whatever we get, it's going to be enough for what I want to do. Oh, and by the way, I never explained why the hell am I interested in circuits. You know, in addition to the normal amount of interest that you should have in circuits, there is a thing that we have to make in order to advance to the next age, and that's called assembling line. I have no idea what these things are and how the hell is it going to work, but I do understand, according to the tooltip, it is not an assembling machine. It's apparently something else. But what it does is not very important. How it's made is important. Circuits are IV, everything is fine, until you come here. Assembler machine casing. All of them are ZPM circuits. So you need 7 ZPM circuits just for one block. And if you look at the size of this thing, it's pretty big. So we need a lot of casings. Hence the interest in circuits. Yeah, this is a problem. This is the rate that I'm getting sulfuric acid, and it's not great. I mean, yes, over 20 hours it's going to count for something, but I need it now. Also, why the hell am I running around with 944 levels? Do you know, Baron? Actually, it's nighttime. Maybe one of the mobs is going to hit you with lightning and you're going to upgrade? We have 944 levels, but it's going to be fine. Famous last words. Anyone has lightning? No? Useless. Also, we don't shoot the spiders. One of them reflects damage. And I don't know which one it is. You're wearing a nano suit. I don't think it's that one. No, he's on fire. It's okay, he's not gonna die. You know, if it was any other night... Oh, Eldritch Guardians. Oops. I was gonna say if it was any other night, there would have been a mob with lightning. Oh, he dropped an eye. Aha! Yes! He's upgraded! We can go home. One, by the way, I forgot to mention, if he gets hit by lightning, the storage is doubled. Let us get back to sulfuric acid. What we're doing at this very moment is that we're making hydrogen sulfide. It's a combination of hydrogen and sulfur, and it takes 3 seconds. It's not much, it gives you 1 bucket. And I even think we have like 2 machines which are doing that. The problem is distilling it. Because every 1.5 seconds at low voltage, we just get 50 millibuckets, and that's really garbage. So here's what we're going to do. If possible, we're going to have a few advanced distilleries, which is not possible because we don't have pipes. You're the hammer and I do have a wrench. Nice, we can make 10, but we go with 4. Then again, we go with 5. You know, at least you can pick them up if you want. Circuit number 1, and yeah, this is significantly faster. Although a bit more expensive, but faster. There is a very high chance that we have to upgrade the chemical reactors as well, because I don't think they're going to keep up. Also, I have 2 chemical reactors here and I don't know, what do you do? Nothing? Is it because you don't have cells? Ah, so maybe now it's going to keep up? No, I don't really think so. Maybe we should upgrade it as well. Then again, maybe not. It's going up. As you guys know, we don't have access to ender chests, but what we do have are mirrors. Magic mirrors. I need to transfer sulfur from our base to our refinery, which I guess we can put a mirror here, link it. Are you linked? Yes. And I don't know, set a filter for it? Is it gonna work? We put you to insert on brown, and we put you to extract on brown. So technically, if I put you over here, you should give me sulfur? Yes, you do. Okay, fine. The problem with the mirrors is that they don't really work the way that you want them to. They have a mind of their own. So you have to use them with something called a hungry chest, which is essentially a hopper but looks like a chest. The mirror is going to drop the item, the hungry chest is going to pick it up. So now you have space for 640 stacks, that's probably more than any sulfur that I will ever have. Anywho, hungry chest, the mirror, which is wrong, I wanted it 1 block lower. So hungry chest, mirror, and you see, it's picking it up. And right now it's extremely fast, but it's going to slow down over time. So you extract on purple and insert on purple. Yeah, it works. And yeah, we're gaining sulfur, that's good. Considering the fact that this distillery is almost full, I think it's going to work its way up the chain. So for the moment, I'm not going to upgrade the chemical reactors. This is a decent rate of getting sulfuric acid, I think. It's 400 buckets now, and I literally just switched them. But before we wrap up, let us check if everything is working. We have plenty of radon. The creepers are dying, that's a good sign. And over here, TNT in the drawer is full, that's actually great. And this is full. And we have 19 quadruple compressed cobblestone. Nice. Good job, boys. And our indium situation, 64 and 44. Oh, we're out of aluminium. That was the problem. It restarted. So maybe we're going to get almost 3 stacks, because we have plenty left. Also, look at all that titanium and tungsten. I think this was a very productive episode. I never had to process this many resources. And with that, I think it's also a good time to wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye.